Donald Trump is just losing his mind right now that Vice President Kamala Harris will be taking an interview on Fox News with Bret Baier. Donald Trump is also livid and posting over and over again how pissed off he is that Fox has Ian Sams, one of Vice President Kamala Harris's senior advisors, on the show, or on the various shows. Frequently, Donald Trump says Ian Sams, who works for Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign, now owns Fox. They're in his pocket, Donald Trump is posting. He's pissed off that Ian Sams keeps going on and trolling him. Let me show you what Donald Trump is posting. Let me show you Ian Sams on Fox. Let me show you Governor Walz on Fox. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you think it is a good strategy for Vice President Kamala Harris to do this interview with Bret Baier on Fox, who Donald Trump is afraid of. And look, I don't think Bret Baier is a great interviewer. He's probably the only one on Fox who's almost like trying to do news as a host. And I'm talking about the host itself. Now, of course, Jessica Tarlov is great, but she's on the 5. I'm talking about like their cadre of hosts. But here's what Donald Trump's posting. Lion Kamala Harris has wisely chosen Bret Baier of Fox News to do a much-needed interview because he is considered to be fair and balanced, though often very soft to those on the cocktail circuit left. I would have preferred seeing a more hard-hitting journalist, but Fox has grown so weak and soft on the Democrats, constantly polluting the airwaves with unopposed Kamala representatives, that it all doesn't matter anymore. Hopefully the people will understand on November 5th and early voting, make America great again. He's not done. It's post after post like this. He then writes, how much time does Ian Sams, senior advisor to Lion Kamala Harris, spend on Fox News? He's now on Cavuto, Fox's lowest rated show by far, and spent much of the weekend hitting Trump, totally unopposed, before two real beauties, Eric Shawn and Arthur Neville, not exactly the next Walter Cronkite of the broadcasting world. Sams is just a below average guy with memorized fake news sound bites, almost all of which are wrong, but coupled with all of the other Harris radical left Democrat mouthpieces that Fox puts on, Richard Fowler, Patrick Murphy, Something Wolf, Jessica Tarloff, it has a very negative effect on the election. Think of it. I spend an hour with the wonderful Maria Bartiromo, do a beautiful job, and then I'm followed up all day long by one-sided negative Democrats, including Ian Sams, who virtually owns the network. It's not worthwhile doing interviews on Fox because it all just averages out into nothing. Fox News has totally lost its ways. Post after post like this. And let's just show you an Ian Sams appearance on Fox where he calls out Donald Trump. And this is one of the things that triggered Donald Trump. Ian Sams is like, release your medical records. Why are you not releasing your medical records? You seem clearly cognitively impaired. I'm going to say it. They're not saying it. It seems that you have dementia or Alzheimer's. It's just an opinion. You reflect the symptoms of it, whether you have it or not. You seem to be soiling yourself in public consistently at these speeches. Here's Ian Sams on Fox. This is very triggering to Donald Trump. I want to warn you. Play this clip.
We enjoy coming on your air, and the vice president's looking forward to her interview with Bret tomorrow night. It's actually kind of a stark reminder that we're not really seeing Donald Trump do very many interviews. It's been about a month now since he did a mainstream media interview, and we got to wonder why. You know, we called this weekend for him to release his medical records. The vice president released her medical report from her doctor, Donald Trump's team. I heard him on your air last hour insisting that everything is okay and that there's nothing to see here. And your anchor rightly asked, well, if that's true, why not just put him out? And so I think that you're going to get to hear from the vice president tomorrow night about her vision for the country and what she's looking forward to presenting to Fox News viewers, including, for example, her proposal to make sure that seniors in-home care is covered under Medicare, a very important proposal to help people bring down the costs for seniors as well as their kids who might be taking care of an aging parent. And so these are the kind of ideas that she's talking about and looking forward to talking and answering, tough questions on Fox News about.
And let's take a look at Governor Walz on Fox. And here Governor Walz says, when we're talking about women's reproductive rights, okay, we're not talking about election issues. We're talking about women's right to her bodily autonomy. Republicans see this as a way to divide, or MAGA see it as a way to divide. We're just saying women should have the freedom to make these decisions themselves. Play the clip.
I want to talk about abortion, too, because this came up at the debate. It's been a winning argument for Democrats on many ballots, but I want to clarify what the law is there in Minnesota. Abortion Finder, a website that helps women find access, says abortion is legal throughout pregnancy in Minnesota. There is no ban or limit on abortion in Minnesota based on how far along in a pregnancy you are. You signed the bill that makes it legal through all 9 months. Is that a position you think Democrats should advocate for nationally?
Look, the vice president and I have been clear. The restoration of Roe versus Wade is what we're asking for.
But that law goes far beyond Roe v. Wade.
To make her own choice. The law is very clear. It does not change that. That was been debunked on every occasion.
But wait, let's agree. What you signed is there's not a single limit through 9 months of pregnancy. Roe had a trimester framework that did have limits through the pregnancy. The Minnesota law does not have that.
This puts the decision with the woman and her healthcare providers. The situation we have is when you don't have the ability of healthcare providers to provide that, that's where you end up with a situation like Amanda Zaworski in Texas, where they are afraid to do what's necessary. This doesn't change anything. It puts the decision back on to the woman, to the physicians. And we know that this is simply something to be brought up to be very clear. Donald Trump's asking for a nationwide abortion ban.
Wait, he has said that we don't see this as a winning campaign. That he will not sign a national abortion ban. Are you calling that just, it's a flat out lie?
Yes, of course. And Senator Vance has in the past said so too. Now look, they may see this as an election issue. We see it as a right of women to make their own bodily decisions. And that's what the states like my state have the ability to put that in. States like Georgia force women to cross the border, and then we have a death of Amber Thurman. So let's be very clear. Trying to cut hairs on an issue on this is not where the American public's at. They want the restoration of Roe versus Wade. Vice President Harris said she would sign it. That's what we'll do when we're elected.
But to be clear, the Minnesota law is far.
And here, Governor Walz on Fox is saying that even those closest to Donald Trump are saying that he's unfit. Play the clip.
I will always defend people's rights to First Amendment, but that's not the folks I'm talking about. Those folks are not speaking for the entire group. So I think it's very clear on this. Israel's right, as we've stood with them. Anti-Semitism has no place in this country. And Vice President Harris has been clear about that. I've been clear about it. But the ability to bring a peaceful solution and understand Israel's right to defend itself, the return of the hostages, and Gazans' right to live in peace too is something that we're trying to get to. And that's going to take the leadership that we've seen out of Vice President Harris, able to hold this coalition together. And again, when Iran launched their missiles this week, she's in the Situation Room. That's different. The people who are in the Situation Room with Donald Trump, like John Kelly as chief of staff, said he shouldn't be there. He's a damaged human being. His own defense secretary said he does not understand the situation, is incapable of dealing with it. So it's about character.
What's interesting is a month or two ago, one of the things that Donald Trump was posting, or I'm not sure, we'll take a look at when this post was, but Donald Trump was saying that Brett Baer would vouch what a great golfer he is. Ask Brett Baer on Fox, a very good golfer. He goes, I just won the senior club championship at a big golf club with many very good players. To do so, you need strength, accuracy, touch, and above all, mental toughness. Ask Brett Baer. Okay. Notice recently, though, Donald Trump said he would not do any debates, not just on other networks, but he said he wouldn't even debate on Fox if Brett Baer and Martha McCallum were the moderators, because he says they're too mean. He claims they're too mean to him. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, I know when we started the interview, you said that you felt that you won the debate last night, your best ever. I think before the debate happened last night, the Kamala Harris people said that they would actually like to do another debate in October. And I know that last night Fox News sent letters to your campaign and her campaign, offering 3 dates of debates moderated by Martha and Brett. One is October 9th in Arizona.
Well, I wouldn't want to have Martha and Brett. I'd love to have somebody else other than Martha and Brett. I'd love to have, frankly, Sean or Jesse or Laura. somebody else. Let's give other people a shot. But I didn't think Martha and Brett were good last night. I thought Jesse was fantastic last night. What he said, Jesse really got it. Jesse said Trump won that debate. We won that debate by a lot. No, I wouldn't want Martha involved.
Okay,
I would,
Mr. President,
but I would take some others.
So,
And by too mean, just take a look at when he did interview with Bret Baier back in January of 2024. Bret Baier went to Donald Trump. So you said that if there's an economic crash, you hope that it happens now. You're rooting. This was in January 2024 that Trump was rooting for an economic crash. Now, fortunately, our stock market has hit record highs. But this is what Donald Trump said in January 2024. Play this clip.
You said this week in an interview that if there's an economic crash, that you hope it happens now.
Yeah. And by the way, yesterday, the Dow and S&P set record highs. Let me show you this clip of that moment. Play the clip.
The Dow is hitting its 37th record of 2024, and the S&P hitting its 46th record of the year. That's going to do it for us. We are going to see you tomorrow.
Donald Trump thinks that Bret Baier is a tough interviewer because Bret Baier said to Donald Trump, so you've said that you would seek your entire second term seeking retribution on people? And Donald Trump's like, yeah, a lot of people say that. That's not so bad. That's what I want to do. Here, play the clip.
When you're in your rallies, you spend a lot of time talking about retribution. And so there are questions about how much a second term of a Donald Trump presidency, second term, would be about retribution and looking backwards and grievances, and how much would be looking forward.
Well, first of all, a lot of people would say that that's not so bad.
Here was Bret Baier's interview of J.D. Vance. And he asked J.D. Vance, so you previously said that Donald Trump's like Hitler, and now you're with him? That doesn't really make much sense. You said he was Hitler before? Here, play this clip.
This is an evolution, and I know you've been asked about this before, about past comments that you've made about Donald Trump. You've said, I'm a never Trump guy, never liked him. Terrible candidate, idiot if you voted for him, might be America's Hitler, might be a cynical a-hole, cultural heroine, noxious and reprehensible. Those are things.
This is back from June 26th of 2023, where Donald Trump says he's not interested in doing any primary debates because he says Fox is hostile to him and he can't trust Bret Baier. Play this clip.
And you have a hostile network like Fox. Like when I did the interview with Brett, I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay, but there was nothing friendly about it. It was nasty. And I thought I did a good job. I've been given credit for doing a good job, but people said, why would you do it? Because it was really, everything was like everything was unfriendly. No smiling, no, let's have fun. Let's make America great again. Everything was like a hit. So, you have a hostile network and you have people that are obviously their candidates are against you and they therefore are being hostile. And if you're leading by 30, 40 or 50 points, what's the purpose of really doing it?
Let me leave you with this Ian Sams, another portion of an Ian Sams interview. Who, again, Donald Trump, Ian Sams right now is living rent-free, and Donald Trump said, here, Ian Sams says, all right, let's just talk to your Fox viewers about pre-existing conditions. You all realize that if Donald Trump gets his way, your pre-existing conditions won't be covered, right? You all get that, right? Here, play this clip.
Talking about this a second ago about the debate tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Again, when it comes to these real issues like healthcare, J.D. Vance is proposing taking pre-existing conditions, people with pre-existing, a lot of Fox News viewers out there. There's a lot of Fox News viewers out there who know what it's like to have a pre-existing condition and have a very hard time getting insurance and having to fight for claims to cover essential benefits, things like that. These are the kind of things that your viewers actually care a lot about. And what we hope happens tomorrow night in the debate is that J.D. Vance explains why his agenda would put those people and their insurance on the chopping block. 5 million people in Pennsylvania who have pre-existing.
So tell me what you think about Vice President Kamala Harris's strategy to do this interview with Bret Baier. It's clearly triggering to Donald Trump. And as Donald Trump's mental decline continues to be on display, I'm hopeful that Vice President Kamala Harris will continue to talk to Bret Baier about, hey, why isn't this guy releasing his medical records when he's soiling himself in public and, and he's having all of these cognitive issues? But We shall see. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.